Hello, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here, and I'm really even more excited that our senior interns from the class of 2023 are all here this morning with us. It has been like beyond an honor to work with all of these students, and they are extremely hard workers. I am so proud of them. Not only did they go out and, for the majority of them, find their own internship, they have been working there 25 hours a week. So essentially, they left Triton at the end of March, and for all of quarter four, we're just finishing our 6th week. They have been out at their internship sites for 25 hours a week. So going from school to work, basically in the blink of an eye. So very quickly, this process started back in January. So for students who are here this morning, if you're considering joining our internship program during senior year, I'd love to have you apply. That application process started way back in January. And then when these students were accepted, we went through a series of trainings. And then finally, I think their first day was probably like April 3rd. So again, I've been out to visit almost everyone here, and I just wish that you guys could have been with me. We have had folks who are out on the lobster boat. I went to go visit a farm. I got to ride around in the Kubota. I don't want to say that was the highlight, but maybe that was my highlight. And then I've been out to the schools. I've been able to hang out with the teacher assistants in the classrooms. And we just have had such a variety of different placements. So if you're thinking about joining our internship program senior year, then I really want you to encourage you to think about that. It's not just about working in a business and or organization. You can also work in a skilled trade. So we also have a couple of students who have been placed out at advanced manufacturing with PV engineering and Von Thermal. So with that being said, I also wanted to extend a really large thank you to our employers. I know there are some of you who are here today, and I appreciate you taking the time to come out and see us. So without you, this program would not be possible. And I really appreciate the fact that you answered probably all of my emails about, hey, do you want to, or hey, can you do this? So again, your partnership is invaluable to us at Triton. So with that being said, the stars of the show are going to come up, and we are going to share just a little bit and give you a sample of what students have done. So not only were the students out for 25 hours a week, but these students also had classroom assignments. So although they were not in their quarter four classes, students were required to do weekly journals. They also met with me on Google Meet once a week and did a variety of capstone project assignments. So as a part of the internship experience, you will have an opportunity to do research, and it will be based on what you're learning at your internship site. And it will also be based on an area of interest for you. So this capstone project was what students chose to research. So with that being said, my first presenter is going to come up, and that's Alex. So Alex, come on up and give him a round of applause.
Holy smokes. How's it going? My name's Alex Montero, and I did my internship aboard the FV Victoria Rose out of Newburyport, and I focused on breeder lobsters. Way too low. So let's go way back. 3 years ago, 2020, I get a call from Jake France, sitting right there. He's like, hey, I'm going lobstering with Lobby J, Lobster John. You want to come? I'm like, sure. So we go out. We're having a good time. And I think I remember we're pulling gear. We're getting good a bit. We got like 2 totes that day, which is like 160 pounds. But we pulled up this one trap, and it had 1 breeder lobster in it with 5 or 6 keeper lobsters that were torn to bits. And John was pretty mad because he's like, damn, we just lost out on, so 6 lobsters at a pound a piece at $5 a pound. You guys can do the math. I never was good at that. But yeah, I thought the internship would be a great opportunity for me to see where these breeder lobsters were so we could stay away from them. Next slide. So a 1 pound female lobster has about 8,000 eggs, and a 9-pounder has about 100,000 eggs. So they are beneficial to us, but when they kill our keeper lobsters, they're not good. And we also can't keep the breeder lobsters when they have a V-notch. When lobstermen get an egger or an egg-bearing lobster in their cage, they're supposed to put a V-notch in their flipper. Some people don't. And that means they cannot be kept for life. Good. So my research is I put 3 different trawls in 3 different bottom substrates. I put one in sand. A trawl is 10 traps in a string with all the same bait, all the same traps, everything. So I did one in sand, one in gravel, one in rock, and we waited about a week to see the results. So from the 3 trawls, we had 2 in the sand, that's 2 breeders, 3 in the gravel, and 8 in the rocks. So if they were carrying eggs, which they were, then they would have killed almost everything else in there, and we probably want to stay away from them. So we know now to stay away from the rocks this time of year. But this could change with the water temps rising and lowering throughout the year, and we'll just have to keep doing more projects on it. So. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'm going to go find John for a boat ride when the weather is nice. Okay, so my next speaker is Sophia. Come on up, Sophia.
Hello, I'm Sophia. So I did my internship at Portside Capital Solutions, and a little bit about that is Portside Capital Solutions works with deal makers at the intersection of deploying and raising capital. Portside Capital Solutions develops and executes growth strategy solutions for businesses and connects clients with meaningful relationships and resources to achieve their goals. At Portside Capital Solutions, I'm a business associate intern. I use a CRM database called Salesforce where all Ms. Messina's clients' contacts are. I help by looking at spreadsheets provided and fill in missing information, as well as add new clients and their companies from this internship. I've learned how to write a professional email, how to make and write an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, raising capital, and working with all different types of investor groups like venture capital funds, private equities, family offices, and independent sponsors. Yeah, just leave it there. I chose to make a marketing plan for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, I will be attending the University of Maine for marketing in the fall. A marketing plan lays out business strategies for gaining new customers and selling more products and services. Being able to take the opportunity has been such a blessing to learn the interworkings of the business world before I get to college. So for the background, we will be exploring, identifying a target audience, reviewing your competition, defining what sets you apart, organizing a budget, and determining media and distribution. To define, a marketing plan is an extensive document that outlines a company's overall marketing strategies and tactics to achieve their goals and objectives. In conclusion, creating a marketing plan is essential for any business that wants to achieve sustainable growth and success. By following these steps, business can develop an effective marketing plan that is tailored to their unique needs and goals. It is important to remember that a marketing plan is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires regular monitoring and adjustment to ensure effectiveness. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. I'm going to buy whatever that was up there because that looked awesome. Ashton, come on up. Ashton Watson.
Good morning. So good morning, my name is Ashton Watson. I did my internship at Internships Hospital, where my official job description was a hospital intern. So I did my capstone project on the importance of good hospital management. So let's go back a little bit and describe what I did. So from week to week, I would start out in a different department of the hospital, whether that be the lab, an inpatient unit, or like the birth center, and I would shadow medical professionals. And, they would teach me specific traits that were, linked with their department, whether it was, discovering, what phenotype or blood type people were, or genetic or disorders people might have while in the hospital. So from that, for my first day, I noticed that the hospital can be somewhat of a controlled, chaotic environment. So I always was curious about, how does something that is sometimes so chaotic function so precisely? Because everything is very scheduled and very precise. So that's why I did my project on management. And from working in the hospital, it's been just amazing working with all these different managers and higher, supervisors. But basically what it comes down to, it's a lot of organization and a lot of, time and communication between everyone. So example could be I was working with the ICU, and when I was in the ICU, everything was swell, but then sadly my supervisor was on vacation and didn't let one of the nurses know, so I would had to be transferred into a different unit. But that manager was fantastic, and he did everything he could to make sure everything was great, and every other professional I worked with was amazing. They taught me so much. But so back to management. So when people, especially nurses, have to manage so much in the hospital, so, whether they have to manage, medications they give to patients, or manage their time between patients, or you got the doctors managing between, procedures versus seeing their patients. So there's a lot of going on and a lot of moving parts. So there's just a lot to, keep track of. So that's why these supervisors, whether, they're in the day surgery, where they allowed me to go in and see some, like colonoscopies, or actually see some actual procedures in the OR, whether that was a total knee replacement or some removal of cancer. So there was a lot of coordination between everyone, and that's why I did that as my project, because I thought it was fantastic of what they did, and how they could allow me as a high school student to be able to see things that a lot of college students won't even see till they're in medical school. But so give me a second. But overall, everything went swimmingly, and it was just an amazing time working with so many amazing medical professionals, and I recommend it to anyone who's interested in working in healthcare.
Thank you, Ashton. So when I went to the hospital to find Ashton, the day of my site visit, I was told that Ashton was in surgery. So he was actually in the surgical room observing with the doctors and the professionals. So that was like, yes, that was awesome. Okay, so my next speaker is Colin Weber. Colin, come on up.
Okay, so hi, I'm Colin Weber. My internship was with the English department here at Triton. So mine was a bit more of an experimental internship. I was approached by the head of the English department, Ms. Scruton, and so instead of leaving my quarter four classes, I would stay in my AP classes to prep for the test, and then I would take my other free periods, and I would essentially do inventory for the book spaces that we had. And so while I was counting books and organizing them, I came across a lot of books that would be under the subject of banned books, which is what I chose to do my capstone project on. So banned books started under a federal government where they were banned with the fear that they would harm citizens or destroy a country's reputation. And recently, we've seen that turn more into individual and organized groups banning and challenging books, fearing that the content would be harmful for their kids and students. And in the past few years, there has unfortunately been a high spike in polarized book banning, and it's not going to stop real world problems. And so we encourage librarians and teachers to continue to teach kids these difficult books. Thanks.
And you can learn more about that subject when you visit Colin at his table. So my last speaker is Annelise Jensen. Annelise, come on up.
Okay. So I did my internship in the TLC program. I chose to work with the special education students throughout my time in Triton High School. I've been involved in the Partners in Physical Education and have volunteered my time to work in the room, and I've had the opportunity to do so. All right. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. From the first day I started, the team has always been super welcoming with open arms. They gave me the ability to learn and grow as each day came. The idea to work with the group came from a project I had to do in history classes, a 60-hour community service project. I love the idea and I never stopped going. Okay. So my capstone project was the importance of routines and schedules for special education students. The project consisted of how a schedule impacts their behavior and how it's important for them. How a day like half days, snow days, vacations, and unexpected changes to their schedule can impact their behavior. I had both the teachers and students take a survey to give me their opinion on schedules. I chose to do this project not only because of the schedule in the room, but also because of how students follow the schedule more than others. Okay. The schedule the students follow is the same as Triton High School, but it's broken down more into groups. Every 2 class periods the TLC room has, Triton has 1. In between, there are multiple breaks and walks. Students take walks for many reasons. For overstimulation, needs to clear their head, a break, or to gain control back of the student for many different reasons. Walks happen at random times, but the many different breaks and walks are crucial for the students and their education as it helps with processing and understanding the material without overloading information. Throughout the day, students aren't just in the classroom all the time. On Mondays, we go shopping to make something during the week. They have electives such as art or ceramics. Some students have pre-ets on certain days. They have drama or singers. They might have OT. They also have jobs, which switch depending on the day for the need. We also have a paired gym class. All this is on a rotation, same as the waterfall schedule. Okay. Positive effects on students' emotional, cognitive, and social development, including a predictable, consistent schedule that makes students feel secure and comfortable, helps them understand expectations in the environment, reduces the frequency of behavior problems. They can rely on breaks and walks for their need. Okay, last minute thoughts. Currently, I'm still figuring out what my plans for college and my career path, but this internship allowed me to learn more about the education field and allowed me to grow and learn techniques I can carry on with me for the future. I would like to thank my supervisor, Amy Holland, the rest of the staff, and the students in the TLC program for welcoming me with open arms and making this space a comfortable and positive environment to learn in. I'm thankful for the relationships I've made with the staff and students during my time in this program.
Okay, that's the good stuff right there. So I am going to very quickly ask our interns, when I call your name, just to stand up at your chair, okay? And once you do that, I'm going to ask that once everyone is standing, right, that the room give them a big round of applause, and then we're going to ask them to head off to their tables. So this is going to be in Ashton Watson. Go ahead and stand up. And you can clap. Tegan Wilson, Riley White, Colin Weber, Ethan Tate, Mason Scolomiero, Sophia Messina, Julian Regal, Caitlin Nguyen, Brooke Nangle, Alexander Montero, Sully McClellan, Mike McGonigal, Nora Lyons, Olivia Kirakopoulos, William Kenyon, Devin Karpenko, Amelia Joyce, Elliot Johnson, Annelise Jensen, Owen Harding, Reagan Haley, Nick Guglielmi, Reagan Golbitz, Caitlin Frary, Jacob France, Elena Field, Courtney Como, Trinity Cole, Dominic Cardillo, Emma Campbell, and Brianna Bowser. Class of 2023 internship students. So interns, I'm going to dismiss you back to your table, and students who are here, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to walk around, ask these students questions. So interns, you can head right back to your table. Awesome.
Down this way, we're going to start down this way. There's a wire here.